Hi, it's a lipstick gal. Thank you so much for watching today. I picked up more luxury makeup, and I'm talking very luxurious. I hope you enjoy. I do have a few other new things I wanted to show you. So I'm going to start with the new primer that I picked up. This is from Iconic London. This is their Velvet Smoothing Pore Filling Primer. And I realized I don't need a lot of this, but I've been dealing with, enlarged pore sizes on my nose and then right across and through here the older I get. So I'm taking just a little bit of this and I'm just gonna rub it in. It's one of those mornings where it is so hot, so I had to make myself like a giant trough of iced coffee. I mentioned before that I had picked this up, but I had ordered the wrong shade, and I don't know how I even thought that I would be a 20W. I think it was the computer defaulted to that shade and I hit add to cart. I think that's the only way it could possibly happen, but I finally picked up the Louboutin Foundation, and this is in the shade 10N. So it's the lightest neutral shade. Let's see if we get yeah, this will probably work. Ooh, it's a little orangey. Maybe I needed the cool. I can make this work, but if you see here to here, boy, that's a little bit more than I expected. I don't know how this sets, if it sets quickly or whether it takes a minute to kind of dry down. But the one thing that I've heard about this is that it's long wearing. It's good for heat. August. Temperatures are getting really warm these days where I live. I mean, we've been in the triple digits for a long time now. It's usually 100 or more every single day, but a lot of days, 108, 112. It gets really hot. We haven't had like the 117, 118 degree days that we've had in the past, and maybe we're just not there yet. I would be so fine if as hot as it got this year was 112. That would be just peachy with me. I'm looking at this. This is building really nicely. And I feel like even though it looks a little bit warmer than what I would normally wear, and it feels more like a warm than like a neutral. But hey, that's okay. It is very fragranced though. If you do not like fragranced products, this is not for you. And from here, I'm just going to take a clean sponge because I want this to look good on the skin, but I don't necessarily want to look made up. So I'm just going to pick up any excess with the damp, and I definitely am with the damp sponge here. I think the difference from between where I have it on to where I don't is pretty significant. I do have some hyperpigmentation in this area, and this foundation on its own has really dialed it down because you can see some of it going on here. This is like my big bad boy. But the spot here and some of the stuff I have here, I feel is really easily mitigated with this foundation alone. I haven't put on any corrector yet. I wanted to see what this could do on its own. As I'm looking at this, I really like the way that I feel like I have no pores on my nose. Now, I didn't get as much on this portion of my face right here as I would like, because I feel like if I do that, I will have really helped dial down the texture on my face that really bothers me. And maybe even a little bit between the eyes. I didn't put any here, but wow, like my nose looks poreless. This is a really great primer. If you have texture or large pores that you're wanting to kind of blur over and erase a little bit, we'll have to see how it wears, but this is really promising. I do have another primer from Iconic that obviously I love. I've been using like half of it. This is their Underglow Blurring Primer. I feel like I'm getting more blur from this, but this one here is their Pore Refining Primer, their Velvet Smooth. So I feel like they're doing two different things, but they're both really beautiful products. I'm really, really impressed with the priming options from Iconic London. I'm going to take a minute to get kind of to the next step to show you what else I have for you today. But give me a few minutes and I'll be right back. One thing I did do is I exchanged the pink powder for the lavender powder from Tarte. This is their creaseless setting powder. The pink shade was just a little bit too dark for my fair skin. This lavender shade is so much better. So I'm just going to pick a little bit up on the puff that they give you here. I'm just going to make sure that I have it distributed well because I don't want it to look like I'm baking, but I do want to set my under eye. And I'm gonna take just a slightly larger puff and hit like upper lip, chin, corners of the nose, and then my forehead. I don't want too much. I just want a couple of areas nice and lightly set. My lips were needing a little bit of moisture, so I wiped off like the makeup that was on them. And I'm throwing on just a little bit of the Charlotte Tilbury Happy Kiss. This is the clear one in Crystal Kiss Happy Kiss. It's just hydration for the moment because we're gonna do a different lip today, but I didn't want my lips to be in a bad state just because I hadn't taken the time to put something nourishing on them. The other really luxurious thing that I picked up was this gift set here from Tom Ford. It has 2 mini lipsticks and it has their quad in Sous le Sable, and it was $75. $75 for a Tom Ford eye quad. Remember when they were 80, then they went up to 88. Like, I don't know how much they are now, but they're definitely not that. And these little mini lipsticks together with the eyeshadow quad is a value of $129. So let's throw some eyeshadow on. I've only had one other Tom Ford quad and I didn't like it. So this right here is Sous le Sable, and it's beautiful. I like that we have slightly cooler tones through here, and this one reads a little warm. It does come with the sponge tip applicators, but you know what? This brush here actually feels really nice. I'm not gonna mess with these today but the one thing I will tell you is, you know, they're branded TF for Tom Ford, and there's different sizes. Like there's this sponge tip applicator here that's a different size. So one that's double-ended, and then one that has sponge tip on one side and brush on the other. And the brush is soft and fluffy, and I feel would do a pretty good job if you needed to in a pinch. But I'm gonna put them to the side and we're gonna reach for something else. I'm gonna start with this shade here. It's a really pretty kind of rosy taupe shade. So the other quad that I got was a limited edition holiday quad that came in a lucky bag, and this must have been like 4 or 5 years ago, and I didn't like it. It was the wet dry formula, and there were colors that I just don't use. There was like a charcoal black in there. Well, it wasn't black and it wasn't charcoal. It was somewhere in the middle, but it was metallic. There was also another metallic shade that read black and had a black base but looked kind of cranberry. They were just too saturated and too dark. This right here, you know, these look like really light shades and these don't get too dark. So for someone like me with fair skin who needs less saturation overall, this is perfect. One thing I should tell you, I did get a little bit of concealer on the lid, so I blended it out, set it with powder. So I guess you could say I primed my eyes today, but I didn't really intend to. On days that I'm trying a new to me eyeshadow formula, I try really hard to leave my eyelid bare, and I kind of missed that today. So we'll see how these wear. I'm gonna go into this darker matte shade here. Ooh, is this Fallout? No, it's just a fuzzy. Living in a house with a cat means that there are little fuzzies everywhere. That wasn't a cat hair, but I'm surprised it wasn't. And then I'm gonna take the lightest shade in here and I'm gonna put it on the other side of my brush and just kind of buff the edges here. I'm gonna take a combo of those two darker mattes on this little pencil brush and just kind of run it right underneath the lash line. And now I'm taking a fluffier brush to really just buff it out. I'm wanting this really soft. This is looking really pretty. The only shade I haven't used is this slightly metallic one here. So I'm just gonna grab this and, hello? All right, let's try brush. Here we go. This definitely builds so much better with a damp brush. Just something to keep in mind. I feel like this turned out really pretty. This is the epitome of what luxury eyeshadows are good at being subtle but elegant. And I really feel that I'm getting that here. I like the warmth with contrast of the rest of the cool matte shades. Is this the most exciting quad that I have in my collection? No, but I do feel like this, like the Stora Dolls from YSL, is going to be a little bit of a workhorse. The sort of quad like the one that I have from Sephora and Beyond Beige, where it's the sort of elegant, beautiful, understated, but still just smashing. I think it looks really good. I'm gonna finish up some eyes and we'll be back to top off the cheeks with a little bit of highlight and throw on those lipsticks. So I did something I probably shouldn't have done. I have so been enjoying this Baume Essential from Chanel that I picked up 2 more. Okay, the shade that I had initially is the shade Sculpting. It is basically kind of like a sheer, glowy, you know, glass looking like situation. I picked up another permanent shade. This one's called Dragé, and Dragé tends to have a little bit of pink to it. The other shade I picked up is part of the summer collection, and this one right here is called, I think it's Moonlit Kiss, and it's more of like a champagne-y shade. So this, boy, there's really not a lot of difference between Moonlit Kiss and Sculpting. But I really love these formulas. They are so beautiful. The older I get, the harder time I have finding a powder formula of highlight that looks really beautiful on my skin. These look fantastic. I'm going to use a combo today of the 2 newest shades that I have. I'll start with Dragé, and what I usually do is I pick it up on my fingers. I find that if I'm swiping it on, I am disturbing what is already down, and I don't want to do that. But I like this slightly pink tone. It's so pretty. And I'll do the same thing with Moonlight Kiss. I wore this one the other day and I absolutely loved it, but I really like this formula. I feel like this formula is so pretty and is so easy to wear, and it just makes my skin look healthier. It does have a glow to it, but it doesn't end up looking greasy. I don't know. I feel like this is kind of like a little bit of magic in a roll-up packaging. Look how cute these little minis are. Let's grab a full size and see the difference here. Get the cat hair off of it. So this is the difference. So here's a full size Tom Ford, and here are the minis. One is called Scarlet Rouge and the other is called Impassioned. Let's just look how tiny they are. Oh my goodness, they're so baby tiny. Ooh. And this one right here is Scarlet Rouge. You know, let's just give ourselves a little ombre lip. I'm just gonna make sure I wipe off all of that Charlotte Tilbury Happy Kiss. Otherwise, it's just gonna be too slick. And I'm gonna take a pencil. This is one from About Face. And I'm just gonna give myself a little bit of a line here. All right, who looks crazy? I do. Let's throw on some lipstick and make it look like I'm less crazy. What I really want to do here is take the Impassioned shade, which is the darker shade, and really kind of hit like the outside corners. I don't think I have a lip liner that's quite as dark as that. And then I'm going to take the Scarlet Rouge and hit it right in the middle. Hey, sweetie, I'm almost done. Would you close my door? I left it open just so the dog and cat. Oh, how beautiful. Here. It's beautiful. My family just came back from the farmer's market and look how beautiful. Oh, I love the snapdragons and the hydrangea.
I really like these. They kind of remind me of fireworks.
Come here really quick.
Hello.
Oh, it's Lily. All right, go put these in water for me.
All right, I gotcha.
Thank you, Prash.
Love you, Mom.
Love you, baby. How sweet. Oh my goodness. All right, back to the makeup. This right here, I feel, was a really great deal. It's a great way to try something that I'd never tried before. Well, that I hadn't tried successfully before, because the previous eyeshadow quad that I had from Tom Ford was very sparkly, was very dark, was just not a color story that was meant for me. This one here in Sous Le Sable, and it's number 31, I think is really beautiful, and I think it's gonna work really well for me, as are these 2 little minis. I mean, You know me in a red lip. Hello. And I think it works really well with the eye makeup as well. I picked this up for $75 during the Nordstrom anniversary sale, but I'm really happy about that. Now, where is my Louboutin? This, I'm really curious to see how she wears today, because I feel like, was it the perfect shade for me? No. Was it close enough? I think I can make this work, but I feel like it looks really good when I paired it with this blurring primer. I feel like the overall look of my face right now, I'm really happy where it is. Did I need 3? No. But these really have stolen my heart. So I'm gonna do my best, but here's the other thing. The good news is I've got 2 kids in my house who wear makeup, and one of them is obsessed with this. And so I think that between the 2 of us, her obsession and my obsession means we're probably going to not let any of these go to waste. But I do really like the glowy look that I get on my skin without it looking like it's too much. Thank you so much for watching today. I'm gonna link everything I used in the description box down below. Those are affiliate links. You can use them or not. It doesn't cost you anymore, but if you do use them, it helps to support my channel. I'm really excited to see if this becomes one of my most used for summertime, if I continue to come back to this really expensive but very luxurious trio from Tom Ford, as well as some of the other things that I have on my face today. There's a lot of new things that I've used before on camera, but I didn't show you today, so if you want to know what those are, just check the description box. Thank you so much for watching. Here's where I want to know. Are you in a luxury moment? Like, I feel like I certainly am, and I'm leaning into that, trying things I've never tried before. What is kind of like your price limit? This is as much as I would ever pay for something. Let me know what that is, because that is something I'm thinking about, like where do I top out? I don't want to be spending $200 on an item, but I just spent $180 on an Hermes quad, and if you want to see that video, I'll link it for you here and in the description box down below. But I want to know, how do you handle and what's your limit when it comes to luxury purchases, and is it worth it for you? Thank you so much for watching. Have an incredible day, and I'll see you again soon.